How do I, this one? Here I am doing, hi. Welcome, children of the Most High. Welcome to my show. I am here on Saturday. Yes, this is not my normal day, but as you all know, we had a holiday on Thursday, so I wasn't able to be here. But I would like to introduce to you, as always, my lovely, amazing, bad to the bone, awesome bestie of all time, Roxy, with the Roxy Files.
Hello. Thank you. How are you today?
I am doing all right. I stayed up way too late and slept in way too late, so I'm a little all over the place. But hey, I'm here.
Girl, I'm not moved yet. It's moved here. I just gotta get it all put out.
Yes. You're going to be in the midst of this for a while, and it is all good because
I am OCD, so when it's piled up around me and not in its proper place, it starts giving me anxiety. So this time I stacked it all in the garage. I go out and get a tub or two at a time. It made it somewhat easier.
I completely understand that. I get that way very often. Like if I get overwhelmed by stuff, because I have a method to my madness, that I just can't even touch it unless it's like little bits at a time sometimes. So like dishes, if it gets to that point,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be there for a while and it's not good. I know. I'm
Well,
terrible.
this is a multiple household combining. So it's like, are we going to use your knives or are we going to use my knives? You know what I mean? And so
Right.
it's like half of my stuff is in storage, half of my stuff is here, half of my daughter's stuff is here, half is in storage. It's crazy. And it's like I just got married. And it was two singles that had their own space and we're trying to move in together. It's like, I don't like your knives. I like my knives. It's okay. We'll make it. It's going to be a minute, but we'll make it.
I don't know what happened, but your audio went back to how it was. Just wanted
Really?
to, yeah, kind of weird. All right. But I wanted to say, hey, Truth Co op, Diana. Only one in the chat so far. Thank you.
That
Oh,
better.
there you go. That's better.
I don't know why it keeps.
So it's
Go ahead.
because I'm here. It's
Nah,
attacking me.
you
It's
don't
telling you.
understand what kind of janky setup I got going on in here for a podcast studio at the moment. I've
It's
got like
okay.
some
It's only
kind of
temporary.
antique table propped up. Yeah, it's a disaster.
A beautiful disaster. All
It's a
right, anyways.
blessing. It's a blessing every day to
Yes.
have all these things to put up. It's a blessing.
So as you guys can see, we today are going to discuss a little bit about, why every student had to have a picture taken every year, how those get culminated into data centers. And we're also going to touch on another subject matter that's not on the thumbnail, but it's golems. And I don't know how many of you guys out there are familiar with what a golem is, but I'll just kind of read a brief overview. Not that I really like AI's overviews, but this is what pops up, and it does have some accuracy in that. But a golem is a mythical figure from Jewish folklore, typically an artificial humanoid made of clay or stone, animated to serve and protect its creator. One of the things, though, that I kind of wanted to bring up in this is it does talk about this here in the creation and purpose. A golem is created by a wise person such as Rabbi Judah Low ben Bezazel, really? Yeah, sorry. In the 16th century Prague, who animates it, often from clay, to protect the Jewish community from harm. But it tends to show that in most of these creations, in the storylines of this, that they end up becoming mischievous and get into a lot of trouble and cause more problems than maybe what they were created for. And what I think is important to understand about the golem, right, is when you're thinking about the clones, right, or like the NPC thing, or even AI controlled robots, because we
Okay.
know AI, huh? Okay. Did I
Yeah.
say something? Do I need my
Mm-mm.
lexicon?
No, 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 no lexicon needed.
Okay.
Um,
I was like,
for everybody, Shannon and I have not had a time to talk in a few days because of holidays and moving and everything else. So our pre-show today, we try not to talk before the show so that we talk about it on air because if we keep running our mouths, we won't have anything to talk with you guys about. So anyway, she texted me about the golems, and then my brain catches on fire, and I text her, and she texts me, and I text her, and we were like, "Oh!" Anyway, I went to try and change the thumbnail after you told me about the golem, thing for today.
mhm,
Um, so what I do is I ask AI to write me a prompt. I just tell it what I want the image to be. It types it all up. I put it in the generator. It makes the image.
mhm.
And I told it Gollum, like from, the TV show Stranger Things.
Right.
It started telling me everything we were talking about, and I didn't ask it.
What? It did that thing again?
It did that thing again.
Well, what did it say? I'm curious, since that's what, I mean, did the ears perk up? We're talking about you? AI?
It says when I told it I wanted an image of a golem from Stranger Things, a dark demonic inhabiting an open soul or an open vessel. And it says that's why they use they and them. When you remove the identity, you can then enter in the dark. And then it continued on. And it talks about how it makes them easy programming. And it made mention of be very wary of your children right now, because from December to April, they're going to be stuck in the house. And that's why that show just came out. The weather turned cold. The kids will be glued to the TV watching it.
So you're saying we're all going to be stuck in our house again, yeah?
I don't know. It made the comment that and I think it was talking about on a viewership of if you want young children to be focused, to do it when the weather, that's why those type of shows premiere is during really cold weather, because that's when the kids are in the house. If it's hot outside, they can go play in the water or get in the pool or whatever. If it's really cold, they tend to stay in the house.
So, see, this is why I wish you would watch the Stranger Things. I of course have seen the 4 episodes they have released, and you're gonna be blown away, because all the things that we've been discussing and children and all this stuff, it gets so much more into that in these next 4 episodes. But so they're doing this, right? Because you just brought this up about how, kids are indoors during the winter and they're stuck in front of their TVs. So they're not releasing another 3 more of these episodes until Christmas Day. And then the final episode is released on New Year's Eve.
Really?
Really. And girl, just like this, okay? Talk about.
Wait a minute. Everybody ready? I'm in my pajamas, by the way, everybody.
We got her camera on. We're both wearing merch
pajamas. Hey, Mike.
But so and hey, Logic for Authority. What's up? Hi, Daniel. Okay, yeah. So we're just being silly. Back to the story.
Dun dun dun.
But right, all this Mall World stuff, all this NPC Golem stuff, all this just Project MKs all over the place, because there's many of them. All of these things are culminating right now in this show on purpose, during this time on purpose. And we're all glued to it. Yes, I may have my notebook there, but the thing is it's it is connecting so many dots that it's a bit overwhelming right now. But it does go into the factor of, again, the kids, the gateway program, the programming in our brains and what that purpose is for, and creating these NPCs, these golems. And what again is a golem? It is to protect the Jewish community. Specifically, it says that in its folklore breakdown. But so think about it as the synagogue of Satan, not necessarily like the cool guys who actually believe in the God of Abraham and stuff. We're talking the other guys who pretend that they do, but actually don't. Those guys, they're the ones who create these things. And when you look about throughout history in many of the stories that they tell children, one of the first things that pops up into mind is Pinocchio, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Pinocchio is made of wood by Geppetto because he was sad and wanted a child and, all of that kind of stuff. So he creates this puppet out of wood, and it then in turn becomes a living thing, not a human, because the storyline, right, is how he becomes a real boy in the end, right? But before he gets there, he causes so much mischief and mayhem just and throughout the whole series that ends up hurting Geppetto more and more throughout the storyline until he then learns how to be selfless and do what his purpose is. Then he is allowed to be a real boy. Another interesting story that is told to children that's a little more updated is Paddington Bear. Right? Paddington Bear is a stuffed animal. He's a stuffed bear. But he comes to life with this child, and the family, they all treat him as though he is a living teddy bear.
Well, look at the one they made for grown-ups, Ted, with Wahlberg.
Right, exactly.
And they had to be a demon in that bear because he had way too much fun in life.
For real. And how much mischief do these characters cause the main character who created it or is involved in the story?
Because it doesn't have a soul, it's just animated, so it creates chaos.
Exactly. I mean, there's no coincidence that they named the character Gollum, Lord of the Rings, right? The one who is obsessive and protective over the ring to rule them all. Although he, in essence, was a real human in the storyline, but he ends up becoming soulless and a golem. They literally call him Gollum to protect this, but he gets into mischief all the time and causes all these issues for the protagonists in the storyline. So these are examples, right? But now again, we're going into the whole NPC, clones, AI, robotics. These are golems. Nothing new under the sun, guys. They're golems. They're inhabiting a demonic being because it is not a real human soul. And they are meant to help with tasks, right? NPCs, what do you do in a video game? You go up to them and they have some, bit of information to give you, or you have to exchange something, but they end up causing mischief in other scenarios. They can actually get you shot or killed or something sometimes. Yeah, what else? Like, think about, what's that movie with Will Smith where it's I Am Robot or something like that?
Yeah.
Like in that instance, like the intention, right, was here to help humanity and blah, blah, but end up taking over, causing mischief. And, the good guys have to take them out. It's the same aspect. And this subject is thrown in your face so much more than you realize. So many of these characters are really actually golems, and they are a real thing that a real religion believes in. And this brings us into the image of the beast, which Roxy had looked up some things about, and I here have her handy dandy Ethiopian Bible that I haven't sent
See,
out
I'm still
yet.
getting to use it. It's on the West Coast. On the West Coast, but I'm still getting to use it. Shannon's just my remote control.
Right now.
I told her not to ship it the other day until I got settled in the new house because I wasn't like sure how reliable my mailman was or if my mailbox was big enough. By the way, do not mail it yet. My mailbox is not big enough for a delivery.
I have to put this comment up. Yes, Daniel. Yes. Yes, Daniel.
Little boy with no soul.
Love you, Daniel. You so got it. So got it. Okay. I didn't even have to say anything. All right, so I have this right here. What am I comparing to? We're going to talk about?
Yes, Revelation 13:15. See, this is something that had been like echoing in my brain. Once in a while, there's these things that tend to get in my brain, and until I put that piece in the puzzle, it scratches at me, and this has been scratching at me.
I'm just turning off my camera real quick so you don't see me fumbling.
Girl, ain't nobody worried about it. These is our people. They ain't worried about that.
Well, I'm sure it may be more entertaining.
It tells you in there that the second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast. Right. So that the image could speak and call, and basically, if you did not worship it, you were killed. There's many, many translations, but I wanted to, and all you got to do in one of these translations is change one word, and you kind of change how a whole thing is meant. So I want to know it from the source right there in that Bible. Right. I literally, since we talked a while ago, have read like 30. I've read every Bible ever written and published, the translation they had in it, to see how different it changes quite a bit, depending upon.
Okay. Almost there. It's the contents is a little different in this thing. Which particular passage am I looking at?
This is the one about the second beast. Okay, given power.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like
it's a lot of Revelations 13.
Oh, okay.
13, 15. Sorry, chapter 13. She was singing, guys. I was just letting her get it here. But anyway, I got distracted with Shannon singing. I'm sorry. Squirrel.
Oh, dang it. Sorry.
Squirrel.
13, 15. Okay. The second beast was empowered to give life to the image of the first beast so that it could speak and could cause all those who did not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He also caused everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to obtain a mark on their right hand or on their forehead. Thus, no one was allowed to buy or sell things unless he bore the mark of the beast. That is his name or the number. This calls for wisdom. Let one who has insight calculate the beast's number, for its man's number, and his number is 666. But in that, it just says the second beast was empowered to give life to the image of the first beast so that it could speak and could cause all who did not worship the image of the beast to be killed. So is that the one we're trying to compare?
Well, see, this whole thing, you know how it is, my brain is like, it runs off on a theory. So I'm thinking, okay, and this is my way of working the word math out in my head. The second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast. So whatever you're animating is in the image of the first beast. So it looks like him. Or it looks like it. That could be human. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Human to human. You don't know. It could be that simple. Because, like we said, we didn't write it. I weren't there. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Well, and in the land of golems, right, they're usually humanoid or something that would that appears to already be alive and animated. Even in Paddington Bear, it may be a stuffed bear, but it's like it's a bear that bears already are alive. If that makes sense.
It
Even the
does.
robots tend to be humanoid looking, you know. It's meant to, they're created for protection, for help, for helping with tasks.
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Uh-huh.
If you think about how we have been conditioned here, I have my camera. If you think about how we have been conditioned over these last 60 or so years plus, right? The technology and the convenience department just keeps raising up and raising up and raising up, which is doing us such a disservice because no one knows how to do anything anymore. Like, making food from scratch. Why? When you could just get it already made and processed and stick it in the microwave or, things along those lines. What?
Did you see the Campbell's soup commercial guy or executive?
Yes, I
You ain't seen
did.
it, folks. You need to go look it up and watch it. Cause I'm telling you, you won't want no more of that there chicken noodle soup. Not in there air
Chicken.
again.
Chicken.
Chicken? Do it again, Gina. Chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodles.
Sorry.
Right. But so think about, and you're inviting these things, you're helping to create your own golem with these AI machines, in a sense. You're using it for tasks. But can it cause mayhem? Can it cause chaos in your life? Even though
Absolutely.
you're using it for help. But as I was saying, we've been so conditioned all our lives for convenience, which is dumbing us down just exponentially. And we're giving away all our abilities, to be self-sustainable, self-sufficient, and being one with the law of God by putting it off on something else, using the convenience of just, going to get something, but not knowing what it is you're putting inside of your body or what it is that's going to create something later. Like, think about all these movies coming out about smart houses,
Uh-huh.
right? And the AI controls every aspect of your house to what? Help you, right? To make it more convenient and easy for you to go slave away for the
Yeah.
man, right? Which is, again, women, where this is our department mostly. I hate to say it, but it's true. We've allowed all of these easy convenience things to do our jobs, right? And in turn, it causes chaos. Our kids don't even know how to do chores. They won't do chores. They're like, why? This other thing will do it. It just it's stealing away our soul.
Self-sufficiency.
It's stealing away our being, our purpose, you know?
I'm
But
telling and it's getting worse.
it,
If you take one of these tablets or an Xbox or something from these kids, you will see them throw tantrums. They'll lay in the floor. They'll have meltdowns. Oh, I'm telling you, that grandbaby of mine, she ain't never getting that iPad back. Not ne'er, ever again.
oh, here's another good one. Exactly, Daniel. How many people are in prison due to Facebook or app?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And just just to reiterate on the attack on children in this, right? Think about all of the stuff we've talked about in these several months with Gateway. And again, we do want to bring up uh, this thing about needing a photo of your child every year. that's provided by the school and what they do with those photos and how it's all culminating into gathering information
Go
on
figure
us.
out who takes those pictures and who those photography companies belong to.
Right.
They all belong to the same company. And Daniel did an episode on said company the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they have photographic evidence of your child from the time they entered the system, how they changed, how they look, what their growth was, how much they weighed, how smart they are. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, and think about it now too in this day and age, it's not necessarily as pushed, you know, because we have these and kids take their photos everywhere and
No,
with
girl.
everything.
These elementary
But
schools around here is doing school photos twice a
oh yeah.
year now.
Oh, twice a year?
Twice a
So
year.
so this is what's interesting though about that is what are the databases doing with those photos in particular, and what is different about that in comparison to these kids throwing themselves out there nonstop anyways with these cameras?
This
I'm
may be.
asking you.
Well,
This is my
and I'm thinking I was getting a swallow of something to drink before I went off on this, and I'm trying to check my lexicon. Okay, let me check my lexicon.
fair enough.
We gonna say that if you were running an educational center for new puppies, this is how we're gonna talk about this. Um, and if your puppy was all out on Facebook or, Snap or whatever, all the time. That's not the same thing as if when that puppy's at the kennel getting his lessons, you take a good still photo, a true honest photo, unfiltered, unaltered. You measured him, you weighed him, you checked him out because that's not something that's been altered. Because you can have this device in your hand, but everything's filtered and altered, kind of like that chicken-ish stuff has been
Mhm.
altered or changed. See, things change, but this one, they're sitting still. Everybody's at the same background, so it's very easy to get, facial recognition off of those photos for tracking purposes. As they
Because
age progress, and you put it in a database, and you tell how all
right.
kids progress.
See, that was what I was gonna pop in with was it's every year. So you get an age progression, nonstop through these particular times. And I'm wondering if that is information to help them to further create these NPCs or whatever to make them more
Compliant.
realistic as they're growing older,
Well, think
you
about,
know?
and this is a theory. We know that we were in the gate situation, regardless of what it was called. Different schools had
Mhm.
different names. Mine was called Pelican, but it was the gifted and talented educational system. If they went through that, they kind of like picked and chose out of those the ones that they could manipulate or program or whatever. Well, their programming is going to get better over time.
Right.
I mean, every process evolves and gets better. So if they were trying to break somebody enough to let something in or something be accepted in, and you go back and you figure out that maybe it's not with the MK thing, maybe it's just with what they call themselves, because it specifically tells you that they are not called he or she, that demons are called they them. When you
Mhm.
remove the identity, you allow something else in.
Hmm.
So that, their selection, training, and vetting process has gotten better since the 70s and 80s of the gate kids. They've now figured out easier ways to manipulate the mass, not just the gifted.
Here's a random thought.
Get it?
And it's random, okay, guys, but how do I say this? I don't want to
Check your
pause for
lexicon.
too long. It's like, so in the story in The Lord of the Rings, as I mentioned, the character Gollum, who was originally an actual human being, but gets a hold of this ring and then is transformed into a golem. Is this, you think, maybe possibly part in line of what we're talking about right now with these kids and people?
Yeah.
Trying to inhabit, which is in essence a possession, right? It's
right.
Possession.
The same thing. If you were to give a statue a voice, you have essentially given a meat suit a voice, because if there's no soul in there, if it's been they them'd and fractured and broken and they're a they them now, you've opened the door. You have animated a meat suit.
Okay, I am now one big goosebump. So I know I mentioned to you a little bit about this show, but I have recently been watching this show called Pluribus. And the weird thing about this show, right, is it starts out with these guys at SETI getting a signal from space, right? That supposedly has been around for like thousands of years, but they're just now picking it up. And this guy figures out that the signal is a virus, some alien virus DNA changer. And then, of course, they test it out on rats, which then the human gets bit, and the next thing you know, it spreads. There's only 13 people in the whole world so far in this show who are immune to this and still maintain their individuality and everything. But everybody else in the whole entire world turns into one hive mind. I'm not even kidding.
We ain't even talked about Racine, Wisconsin, girl.
So it is so just, again, big giant goosebump. Okay, the whole entire show. And what's crazy, right, is all these hive minders, they're so kind, and they do anything and everything for these people who haven't been affected by this virus because they're immune, because they're trying to figure out how to turn them into the hive mind. And there's only like one or two characters so far in the show that is like, no way am I going to do that. But the other guys are like, well, we just can't wait to be part of the hive mind. They seem like so happy and wonderful, and just seems like this wonderful thing. And every time they're trying to convince like the main character to come on board onto this hive mind, and you'll be so happy. You know, it's so wonderful. But it's like, why would you want to do that? And the main character's freaking out this whole time, like, why do you not want your individuality? How do we turn this back? Like, it's a very crazy show. But pluribus, right? Everyone knows what that word means, right? Many. Out of many, it's all printed on your money. What is it? E pluribus unum, out of one is many, or something along those lines. And in the title, the I in pluribus is a 1. So this is, again, it's like the possession golem hive mind thing. And now there's a show on it.
Remember we talked about, gosh, what is my show we talked about the other day? Resident Evil. You know that I was telling you about the city of Racine, Wisconsin? Looks exactly like that show, like layout, the ground shaft of Alice.
Girl, I just, even last night as we're all watching it together and I'm looking at the demigorgons. Right? And I was like, dude, isn't there a character in Resident Evil that looks just like this?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked it up. I was like, there it is. Because I was forced
Okay.
to watch people play this game a lot growing up.
Well, this city of Racine, Wisconsin, um, has connection to a Mr. Bird that flew a plane over an icy place. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I think that the actual place, the company that has this manufacturing facility with a very long and deep shaft in it is some type of like malted milk or chocolate factory or something. But the man that built that factory or was involved with it, the actual plane that Bird flew over that icy place
Mm-hmm.
was paid for by him and named after him. And I'm pretty sure there's some type of expedition thing named after him up there. And all of a sudden, the towns, the town of Racine, Wisconsin, the citizens don't seem to know why all of their branding for the whole town turned into the symbol of a beehive.
Hmm.
Just saying, I'm down that rabbit hole. It's deep.
Well, it's something you said triggered something, and it what I just almost want you to repeat it because I, of course, lost it. This is my brain. There's too much going on in this brain. So sometimes it's really easy for me to get something and then lose it. And then I'm like, what the heck was I going to say? Um, oh, in that show, Pluribus, right? With the hive
Mm-hmm.
mind thing. In the last episode that they released, because they're making you wait every Friday. They're trying to bring back that old school, like you can't binge watch anymore, which drives me insane, but that's another story for another day. But in this show, oh, hi. Hi, Super Dave. She ends up finding, she goes to this dairy manufacturing facility in her town because everybody who is part of the hive mind has literally abandoned this town that she's in because she keeps messing with them. And every time one of these hive minders gets hurt or emotionally distressed, the entire hive mind does. And it causes death and havoc and whatever. So they're like, we need space. And so they literally leave the whole city that she's in. And she's finding all these like milk containers in the trash cans and going, why do they drink milk like it's going out of style? And so she goes to this facility where they're manufacturing these milks. And she's finding out that they're not actually manufacturing milk. It's some kind of something else, some weird substance. And they're finding out that, she's finding out that there's probably so much more of these facilities that have been taken over in the guise of dairy or soda or whatever. But they're giving them this substance. And at the very end, of course, the cliffhanger, right? She discovers what this substance really is, but we don't know yet. We won't know till next Friday. But it to me is looking more like, Soylent Green kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when you said that about the bird guy and that facility that was manufacturing stuff,
Uh-huh.
my
Have you ever
Italian
watched
hands.
have you ever watched the movie Idiocracy?
Yes, the documentary.
Yeah, where these fools are like watering their crops with Gatorade and they kill everything because they're such idiots. We are headed toward idiocracy, people. We are already wearing the Crocs. And I'm going to tell you, I rock some Crocs because I started rocking Crocs and my back don't hurt no more. But this is where we're headed. I'm on the boat with some of these people. I'm wearing Crocs, man. I hope I'm paddling harder than everybody else. But go look at that movie. Like everything they're wearing has advertisement on it.
Advertisement.
Yeah, like everything is an advertisement. And sign up over here and get you some of this and some of that. And it's insanity. When you start looking at some of these movies we've watched, you're like, they were telling us all along.
Think about what Walmart oh gosh, sorry, Wally World, whatever. Whatever. Okay, don't get mad at me, AI, for saying Walmart. But
Okay.
you look at the facility, or it's like a Costco or whatever in that movie, right? Which has like everything in it. It is just like this massive warehouse of
Yeah.
just like everything where you can
Everything.
get lost in just everything. And yeah, but and what Star Sluts is, I call it Star Sluts. They can't be mad
Yeah.
at me for saying that, but and it's exactly depicting what I'm saying is what the Star Sluts is in that show or in that movie. It's like that's where you go to get your rocks off
Mm-hmm.
is Star Sluts. It's kind of funny. And
Yeah.
there's one of those places, right, in reality on like every single corner of every single place on this planet
I
now.
have actually seen them bad boys across the street from each other.
All the time.
Where was it we went? We went somewhere. I think it was in Memphis. I went with my sister to Memphis. And it was like it was a very narrow street, and each one of the little storefronts were very small. So they
Mhm.
had like one on both corners.
Yep.
The
Oh
exact same thing on both corners because they didn't
yeah.
have enough. But
The
they're everywhere.
sad thing is both of those places probably had a line out to the
Oh
street.
yeah, round the corner.
Both.
Round the corner.
So, okay, I know this is kind of sort of off topic, but not exactly. But I have a question for all of you guys. There in my town, right? I am in a one boulevard town. It is a one boulevard town. We got some side streets, of course, but we got one main road. And we have literally like 30 different car wash facilities in my
Mm-hmm.
town. I know that people here like to have clean cars and all, but all I can think of is Breaking Bad, man. All I can think of is like money laundering because
Mini laundromat you got, Shannon.
who the frick needs to wash their car at 5 different car washes right next to each other? It's gotten worse than Star Sluts. And I'm just like,
How
what is that for? Like, are you spraying us in our cars with something weird? Like, there's got to be something to this. Why?
gonna get all right, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna disclaim as to any knowledge other than a television show I watched as to why there are a lot of car washes, okay? Okay, we just stating that. This is off show. Um Money laundering is easy to do in a business where there is no one particular product or time that you are selling. You're essentially selling recycled water.
Which brings back to Star Sluts again. The connection, right, of the Hampton kids
Uh-huh.
and that place, and also the Mickey D's place, and
Uh-huh.
all that stuff. So, there's something to this. So, where do car washes come into that? That's what I want to know.
You gotta move
Anybody
money.
knows.
Okay, let me explain this to you. Movie basis. Simply movie basis, folks. No
Okay.
personal knowledge. um, if you need somebody, okay, let's just say we're gonna call this person Joe. I don't know Joe, but Joe is a alderman or a community leader or whatever in his community.
Mhm.
Well, Bob the Builder needs somebody on county council that will lean his way. So Bob the Builder tells Joe the alderman, says, we're gonna get you elected and I'm gonna give you a car wash. Bob the Builder can't pay him directly, but he can help him set up a car wash. And you can funnel that money through said car wash, which is a business of the alderman's. And he's just selling a lot of car washes because Bob the Builder looks like he's taking every vehicle in the whole county and running through that car wash. Just saying. I mean, there's some easy ways to move stuff.
I mean, it's interesting because, we all
Too
used to
much
just,
time in accounting, dear.
yeah, we all used to just wash our own cars. It's kind of how we roll in this
Oh, well,
house. You
everywhere
know
you
what I
go, the
mean?
water's restricted anymore.
Right? But I just, it's really, really creepy. And yes, the money part is there, but just like the star sluts and the other stuff, there's some other
Additive?
underlying additive that has something to do with, I just don't know though. It's
Well,
like,
think
what
about it
is it
like
with the
cattle.
cars?
Even with cattle, you either get milk or you get meat.
Hmm.
And if that milk just happened to cost a couple of $1 million a pint, but it takes 100 cows, and we're not talking about cows. You get this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That factor, that extra factor in the food. It ain't cattle, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You're getting milk. Milk is $2 million a pint, but it takes 100 cows, 100, to make a pint.
Mm-hmm.
So once you're done with the meat, because you can't get no more milk, you got to dispose of the meat somehow. So
Right.
you just mix it back into everything else, because this is, if you have you know how the horse goes to the glue factory, nothing
Mm-hmm.
is wasted. So if your next product down the line that you're adding this into, you normally have $10 a pound, well, you're going to water it down with this other waste byproduct that you've got and get your point per pound down, because you're disposing of a waste that you can't do anything else with, and you're
So,
getting paid for it by the pound again.
so
Does that make sense?
are you saying there's some Soylent Green action in some of this, like
Everything.
oh, though I didn't even think about it in like the
When those precious,
product
well, okay, you know how
car
we're,
industry thing. That's
well, this money's got to move. It's got to keep moving, and everything is connected to everything.
most. Wait, hold on. I gotta. What, Daniel?
What I said, you're just selling
Most.
recycled water.
Yeah, no way to
Everything's
track how much
recycled,
water.
so there's no quantity of a product you're selling. So therefore, you can say how little or how much you make, because it's pretty much a cash business. And if you got somebody that wants to give you money but can't give you money directly, there you go. I made $20,000 this month, and the car wash was open for 12 minutes. You know what I mean? It's very simple to do. We had a booming month, at the car wash or the laundromat or whatever it is. And that's one of the reasons they're trying to get rid of cash. Not because they're trying to stop crime, but they're trying to keep the little man from keeping anything they didn't get a piece of.
I'm just kind of blown away, right? Because I got the whole Breaking Bad thing,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But that, I mean, it makes complete and utter sense. Not only the cattle aspect of it, right?
Uh-huh.
But all of the byproduct from all the other factory use being
Uh-huh.
recycled into these car wash
Uh-huh.
facilities. See, this is why I don't go to car washes. I've done it like a few times in life and went, this is stupid. I can do this at my house. I'm still doing all the work. I just drove through this thing and woo with flashing lights. It just never got into that. But that makes sense. It's something that's
They they
bothered me for a while.
they are
Okay.
master they are master recyclers of many things. Um, some of the stuff that the doctor might say you need to take is more than likely a recycled byproduct of something else.
I sent you this video that you need to watch about the pharmaceutical stuff. Because remember a couple shows back, I was like, how many of these, pills or medications that we
Uh-huh.
take have compounds in them that can cause you to hallucinate. I
Uh-huh.
was right on the freaking money
Yep. Reuptake
because
inhibitors.
every bit of it has that in it. And I was
I told you they gave me that for hot
correct.
flashes, right?
Yeah.
Hot flashes.
Hot
Like
flashes. Allergy medication.
they were giving me so
Allergy.
much of that stuff. I was like cardboard.
Yeah.
Claimed it, and I ain't gonna lie to you. The hot flashes stopped, but I had the personality of cardboard for a year.
So, because of copyright things, as I have found out the hard
Recently
way,
learned.
I will post that video on my community post. Anything that we talk about that I want to give you guys visuals that we cannot play on our platform, I will post on my community page so you guys can get that aspect and do the digging on your own and all that stuff. You guys are super smart, but then it kind of clicks to a lot of stuff that we're talking about since I can't necessarily show things live.
Yeah, they be smacking us on the hand all the time.
Let me just mention this because this is really, really important to me. I did a show on this a little while back ago about how AI has the capability of taking your likeness and doing its own thing in your likeness. Well, it is happening in real time to a lot of people already on the Tik whatever app platform. And these things are going to get more and more intense. And when all of us who noticed the channels that had been taken down popping back up and things along those lines, wondering, what is this? This is some kind of setup. You could just feel it. Well, you're finding that those channels, their viewership is like nothing, even though they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers from years ago. That every one of us are excited that they're back, by the way. So how is that even possible? Because we are watching that content. And when you go in to type in comments, it'll be taken down right then and there. So the censorship has not gone away. It's almost locked down harder because in real time, they can change whatever they want. I mean, I've seen videos of content providers who literally, they're sitting there talking and doing all this stuff. They rewatch their stuff because it happened in real time during the broadcast that what they are doing is not what they were doing. It's them, but they're acting weird. It's not them. They're not talking or they're saying something different. It's already happening. So be
Well,
aware.
this is the reason that we are all creating networks.
Exactly.
That way we know that you know that we're the person you're talking to on one of our channels in the network, and hopefully some of these other partner networks we're going to be part of, they're real people. They're not AI generation. They've been vetted. We have vetted each other as far as we are not of them.
It may start with us, the content providers, but it is going throughout with your children, with you. Think about what we just talked about with all those pictures in the databases that they've had in the school all growing up. Think about all of those things. Think about how they can actually take that likeness and create an AI child corn film. Okay. Think about all of those things and realize that every picture you guys post up on things about you and your family, that's in the system. All of these things, it may again start with us, but it's going to go to everything. Children already are being blackmailed for things. They're getting stuff out there that it's not them. It's not even them. but they're facing the consequences of it just because they
Uh-huh.
allowed their picture to be up on these platforms. So just keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Whatever data you put out there, like we are aware that this is going to happen to us. We're preparing, and we are solid in the fact that we're putting ourselves out there and know that's what we're doing and know what the consequences can be. But not everybody does that, especially your kids. So that's just my serious warning to you guys. Like, serious warning. Like, here's an example of just something in my thing. I had social media stuff before. This is probably the only social media I really have anymore. I mean, I do have a TikTok, but I'm never really on it, and I never post anything on it. It's just purely for research purposes. But I don't put any pictures of me or my kids up on there. I don't do any of that. I don't have these things anymore. I used to. Already had issues, already had big, major life changing problems happen to me because of it. And I was never wanting to be on these platforms. I saw a million miles away how evil they were, but I got trapped into it like everybody else. But just yesterday, I get a message from a friend. Hey, how was your feast at, Thanksgiving? I saw your picture on Facebook. And I was like, my picture's on Facebook? And the picture that my parents took of all of us at the table, they posted on Facebook because they're not thinking about anything else. They're just like, hey, look at our celebration. Woohoo. But to me, I'm like, I
Well,
didn't
you
know.
do know there's a
you
way.
know,
Well, you don't have one, but if you have one, there is a way that you can go in for anybody that has one of those book facing pages to set it so other people cannot tag you or like share it to you and directly connect you to their stuff.
the problem being though is it doesn't even matter. It's already out there. It's put out there
Oh yeah,
and
when
on
it's out,
their
it's out.
thing. And I
Which,
mean,
well, this is the
so
sad fact of it, Shannon. If it was took with a smartphone, it was out there time it was
oh,
took.
exactly. But then it's like again putting it in more and more things without your permission. And that's just how much is that happening? I mean, even on the street, as everybody's got to freaking film everything instead of participate in helping or doing anything to stop said crime or whatever. They got to whip
Yeah.
out their phones or for whatever stupid prank that's going on. How many of us are in the backgrounds of those?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those things. It's like the intentions aren't bad, the intentions are good, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions,
Ain't
people.
it? Ain't it?
So I've worked really hard to get myself off of those types of platforms because I'm not in this instance. I'm out here speaking truth. I'm talking about Jesus. I am doing things like that. And so I am being brave because God wants me to be brave in showing my face. But it's under the protection of God, not just throwing out stuff. And it's so hard because I'm in the entertainment industry in one way or another. I still am. But it's really hard to be incognito when you're out there being a face on something. It's a conundrum on so
Well,
many
I got a
levels.
conundrum for you, ma'am.
Yeah.
I am trying to get a communication to a music artist. She's
Yeah.
not that big. Have you ever heard of Tanner Adele?
Sounds familiar. I'd have to hear something.
She's it. I'll send you some songs, but
Okay.
if you hear me out there, look me up. I got somebody wanting to get in touch with you. But yeah, we'll talk
Well,
about it
and
later.
honestly, any of you guys out there in who are creative in the music department and all that stuff, I would absolutely love it if you would connect with me because then we can all work together to get our stuff out there in the right way. because the more we build together, the better we can get our stuff out there that's not a sellout. Okay, so if anybody out there that's hearing this, that you're in music in any way, shape, or form, get a hold of me or Roxy, especially if you are, you're in the train of singing about Jesus or any of that kind of stuff, especially. But just honestly, if you are an independent artist with music, please put a post up on my page, whatever. Find a way to get a hold of us, because I would like us all to work together to get our stuff out there without using the evil if we can. So that was my little shameless plug.
Plug away, girl. Plug away. You can look us up. We're both got a channel.
Hey, and
sure we'll,
collaborations, guys.
ain't it?
Let's go.
We like doing it as a group
I
on
love
this way because
duets.
we can all help each other
Yep.
for a greater purpose.
I wanted you to go in a little bit more, of course, on the subject matter that we were talking about with the thumbnail. I want to leave that to you because I wanted to touch base a little bit more on the Gollum stuff before we get going.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to hand the mic to you. You don't have to see my face while she's talking.
What part of it you want me to talk about? The they them portion?
Well, just the
What portion of it?
overview of why this really caught your attention today, like why this was.
Oh, yes. I was trying to generate a thumbnail image. I got you. See, we had to like catch that cog in my brain. I actually, while we have been doing this podcast, I've had 2 text conversations going on, and I now have 7 tabs of research open all while we've been having this conversation.
See, let's go.
I had to go back and catch a tab. Back to the tab. Like a typewriter going backwards. Okay. All I did was tell this thing to write the description so I could flip it, for the image. All of a sudden it says, it asked me what was I speaking about when I told it a golem, and all of a sudden it took off. It says Daniel's chapter 2, Nebuchadnezzar's dream, the statue, right? Gold head, silver chest, bronze belly, iron legs, clay feet. It represents kingdoms, leading to God's eternal kingdom, crushing it. No direct speaking part there, though. Maybe you're thinking of Revelation. The beast image comes to life and speaks in 13. I was not talking to this thing about that.
Wow.
I was talking to you.
This thing likes to talk to you a lot.
I don't talk to it. Like, the only reason I get on here and use this thing is to generate those thumbnails. I don't ask it questions. I don't use it as a search engine. I don't interact with it. The only reason I use it for that is for those thumbnails, because it makes it like bing bang. I ain't got to spend 3 hours doing it. It's 10 minutes. I got more important things to do. But just saying, this computer is in a room by itself. My podcast little room that I'm putting together here, but it's a room. It used to be a piano room. When you and I were talking, Shannon, I was on my front porch texting on my phone with you about Revelations 13. When I said grab that Ethiopian Bible so we can look it up on air.
Right.
This thing was already talking about Revelations 13 shortly thereafter. I did not ask it or speak to it or anything near it or look it up on my computer.
See,
when this happened.
This is just another example of how this algorithm and like figuring out what's in your head before you actually get it out is really creepy.
Well, see, then it says, what's your take or think of the statue metaphor? I said, at this point, I'm intrigued. I said NPCs. It says, you mean non-player characters. I've seen the threads. This is it now. You really think that's just a gaming term? What if we're all NPCs to someone? Or maybe the NPCs are the ones awake. Ever notice how some people just repeat the same phrase? And who does the programming? AI, obviously. But who made AI?
In the film.
I'm not gonna read that part out loud because it'll blow the lexicon out the water. It literally, the man that wants to go to Mars so bad,
Mm-hmm.
his name was all over like the next couple of sentences, and not in a positive way. And I'm actually using the one off of I'm using Grok. And then all of a sudden it says, "Oh yeah, the they them crowd."
Well,
It's next. It said possession is real,
mm-hmm.
and it goes on from there like 3 or 4 more paragraphs about it. I almost reached up and closed the window, and I'm like, nope, I'll lose it like I did last time, so I just left the window open.
That's again, because it's all about this golem stuff. Golems are possessed things. I mean, we are all aware that demons can possess statues, dolls, all kinds of things.
Well, see, it goes on, and like I'm giving it one word replies when I ask a question. I'm very specific with this. If, I do interact, it's very simple, yes, no kind of things. I don't give it information it doesn't need. And it says an end of times checklist. And it starts talking about all kind of different things. And the last sentence that I was like, this is when I was like, I just let go of the mouse. The mark isn't a chip, it's a pronoun. ... I quit. I muted, I cleaned off the mic because I knew that you and I were going down this road and then this thing, and all I'm trying to do was get a prompt to do it. And I was like, nope, that's it.
Well, in scripture, right? In the situation where Jesus casts out legion from the one man that was, chained up in the cemetery, who was acting like a beast, like an animal, and he casts them into the pigs, who then take their lives off of the cliff into the ocean. They call themselves legion. So that is in essence what we are speaking of, right? And legion is the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, the offspring of the fallen and the women of men. You kind of get it now. It's pretty much obvious. So yes, they, them, that whole thing definitely has to do with the mark. I think it all integrates together, but you can definitely tell that the guy who has the Tesla's company and all that, right? He is definitely part in creating that image,
Central casting,
the image of the beast. This whole holographic generated AI being that they're going to be putting out. They're telling you to your face that this is the beast, the image of the beast, the image.
Well, see, and this is the thing I try to remind myself of. Whatever technology we think is out there or that they're capable of, or we've seen a smidget of it, they had that 50 years ago.
At least.
If not 100.
I'd go back to ancient days because nothing new is under the sun. And think about all of the folklore with Atlantis and Lemuria, that these land masses had people upon it that were very technically advanced, and too advanced to where God decided it's got to go. Right? And we still are looking for Atlantis and Lemuria, although Lemuria, or Mu, I have a feeling has a lot to do with this new continent that they are saying exists, because that exists, and on old maps it's called the land of Jesus, things along those lines. So there's other land masses that are submerged in water. So there's something to these things. But if we're taking it back before the flood, in the times of Enoch, right? And before the flood, which really would make sense as to why these places, Atlantis, Numeria, whatever, could be submerged underwater. You know, it's puzzle pieces that are really large and easy to fit, okay?
Yeah, big ones.
They're big
Like
ones. They're
a
like,
toddler puzzle.
yeah.
Toddler puzzle.
So
Toddler puzzle.
So this technology has been around forever. We keep finding archaeological evidence that they had computer stuff. They had flying machines back in ancient Egypt and that kind of stuff. So nothing new under the sun, guys. This is all a recycling.
Recycle.
But in this instance, they have, instead of one or two continents, decided to spread all throughout the continents. Everywhere.
Like a parasite.
Right. And yeah, so I'm preaching to the choir. I know this, but you guys like to listen to us for some reason. So
what we saying is get your boots buckled up and get your backpack packed, because the crap is about to get real. You're going to need the armor of God, so stay prayed up with us.
Prayed up. I mean, and here's the thing. I know this gets a little disheartening where it's like everything and everywhere, your food, the air you drink, or the air you drink, the water you drink, the air you breathe. All of these things are tainted, and all you can do at this point is pray. This is why we have all been taught to pray over our food before we eat, which is a thing that so many of us have lost doing. You know, it became more of some kind of routine that we never understood why we even really do this. Like, Lord, bless this food. It's, Lord, please take away the evil that is put in this food so I don't consume it.
Starve to death.
You know, these are the things. This is protection. And there is a way to protect yourself from these things. We can't get away from it. It's in everything. It's inundated. We're in this reality right here. But in the name of Jesus, you can change anything. So you can. And you just got to remember that. Armor of God, yes. And the knowledge, the understanding that the Holy Spirit works through you. And you don't need to be afraid of these things. You just need to be aware. I mean, that's what a watchman on the wall does. We're not out there saying, oh my God, the world is ending, so you have to crawl in a hole. We saw it. No, we're saying, hey guys, there's an army like 10 paces away. You better get your stuff ready and get protecting your family.
Tie your shoes.
You know what I mean? That's what it's for. So don't worry about the fear mongering. Don't let it paralyze you. Don't let it paralyze you. And I say this because sometimes we all have a tendency to be overwhelmed with all this, right? And we do get a little paralyzed and while we're processing this information. But you just got to remember, it's not to scare you. It is to empower you in the name of Jesus.
If you believe, you don't need to be scared.
No, yep.
Don't be scared.
Be scared.
There's nothing to be scared of. Just pray on it. Have gratitude. Be thankful. Smile at the next person you see. You know how it tells you things multiply. If you give, it will come back to you in multiplication. It will be multiplied many times over. A smile is contagious.
all of you who remember Dan, one of the things he used to say to me all the time is, don't you let anybody steal that joy of the Lord in you, Shannon. And I have a tendency to get intense and all worried and frantic because I come from
girl, go sit down. Go sit down.
I come from a line of Italians. This is not my it's a thing I'm trying to break generationally, okay?
It's like, Shannon, you're doing too much. Go sit down.
But it's like that saying has hit me so hard lately, because even when I feel like I'm about to be paralyzed with just all of the weight of everything that I'm finding out in the truth, God is there, and he's saying, hey, it's cool. I'm just showing you so you know you're getting prepared, and I am still giving you joy. I still will show you this joy in your life while you are uncovering this evil, just to know that I am there. And that is what I'm saying. God is love, God is joy, and that is our biggest strength against the enemy, because the enemy is trying to steal it from you. He's trying to energy harvest that joy that God gives you, and you just can't allow that. You just
You know
can't
what?
allow.
We should call ourselves the Joy Besties. Like Joy Besties.
Happy,
What was
happy,
that song
joy,
we used to
joy,
sing in
happy,
church?
happy, joy.
I got the joy.
Oh yeah, I got the joy,
Down deep in my heart or something.
Yeah, so deep in my heart, something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs from childhood I get stuck in my head. It's kind of like Purple Rain. When it gets in there, it's there.
Now you got
It's
it in
there.
my head. I'm all purple rain, purple
You can't help it.
rain.
You can't help it. It's contagious.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely
See,
contagious.
I need to get some of my songs out there contagiously. Just kidding. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Well,
Shannon sings. If you didn't know, folks, Shannon sings.
Right? If you didn't hear my intro,
Hey, Kent, about time you showed up, buddy. You come rolling up in here.
I know I didn't see Rage either, but I saw
I
your
ain't seen
comment.
Rage. I ain't seen Anonymous. I ain't seen a bunch of our regulars.
I know this is,
but then again, weird timing.
It's Saturday. It's not my normal day.
No,
this lovely
we probably
Sabbath
both
day.
should be doing other things.
Well, just to we've been here for a little while, just chatting up a storm, but just to kind of bring back on the subject matter a little bit before we go. Know that the things in schools and growing up and in the social construct that we've grown up in, they have so much data on us and so much stuff that they have collected over the years to manipulate you and turn you into a golem, into a they them. So we're fighting back by saying, no, we see your plan, and we are just going to have the Holy Spirit work it through, but we're not going on without. We're not doing it. So here's the thing. We know so much about how the school systems and these systems have been messing with us and our kids for so long. And what can you do, right? You're stuck in a system where even as a parent, if your kid doesn't go to school, you can be imprisoned. So all we can do is arm our kids with this knowledge. They may not understand it. They may not realize things until they're later, but letting them know that you may be here, but you need to be protected by God and pay attention. Don't allow certain things. We just need to educate our children a little bit better on some of these things to be aware of and to help them to be more protected, because even though we may not have always a choice in how this system works. And not everybody can homeschool, and not everybody does that or has the ability for these things. Know that if we armor up our kids and give them that knowledge and tell them that, hey, we believe you, something isn't right in the school system. You don't have to be a they, them to rebel against it. You can armor up instead. It's just important. We really got to educate our kids on these things so they're aware and they don't the stranger danger thing. And even little kids, you'd be surprised. Like, it's not taking away their innocence, telling them to be careful and watchful for the enemy. It's being a responsible parent. So I just wanted to reiterate, and these kids are so much smarter than we think.
Teach with knowledge, not fear.
Yeah. And with empowerment, instead of like scaring them with it, like, hey, I'm about to give you some empowering knowledge. You're going to be protected. You can help protect your other friends, with that kind of attitude. So they are not feeling like this is something they need to be scared of, but something more empowered with, to protect their minds and to protect their souls. So
absolutely,
you look at all these kid stories growing up with these golems. That's what they're trying to do to us. They're trying to turn us into golems. They're turning all these objects into golems that we will bring in our home. Just know what it is. All right.
Yep, you were.
That being said, I will stop talking your ear off, and we're gonna let you all go. We love you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and that you say hi to Jesus upstairs. And I hope you all had a wonderful, thankful day on Thursday.
That's right. You said you're going to be off for a couple of days. You got a couple of clients.
Yes, I will not be on the show on Monday or Tuesday, unfortunately. I will be back on Thursday. I have a 3-day extension job that takes up my life. So
okay, well, I guess I will take this Tuesday night since I'll be by myself, and we will be discussing. And Shannon, you can have your input. You can text me ahead of time. I'm trying to decide what to put in this fantastic greenhouse on my property. What we're gonna plant.
I mean, broccoli.
Shannon, do you remember my daughter's occupation? I cannot grow broccoli here. There's a popo on the property.
But she is your daughter. I mean, come on, man.
Come on, Shannon. I have my other kinds of medicine.
I have lists. I'll send you stuff. That's not broccoli. It's cool. It's cool.
Everybody, get your list together. What should we be growing? What's going to benefit us all? That's what we're going to talk about Tuesday night. The greenhouses and natural remedies and things of that nature. We'll have a good night. Love you guys.
Love you guys. And thank you for being children of the Most High. Bye. All right. I am going to play this extra. So if you all need a little bit of time to chat in there, because you like to do that after the show, at least this intro extra will give you a little time. All right. Bye. Love you.